Hey everybody, it's Alex from Motoroso.com, but this is the Baja Designs official installation guide for the behind the grill kit for the new 3rd generation Ford Raptor. Now we made separate product spotlight video where we go through all the different variations and specifications and light power output for those kits. We'll put a link to that right over here. Go over there to learn all about those kits. But in this video, we're going to show you how easy it is to install it and tie it into those OEM auxiliary switches or wire it into the S-Pod, which is a very cool product. We recommend checking that out for sure. Now, just a couple installation notes. Although this might look complex and you're pulling the grill off your Raptor, it's actually a fairly simple and straightforward install that most people can accomplish with basic tools. Now, the hardest part of the install is in the instructions, they say that there's a bolt that you have to get up to that's hidden and you can't quite reach it. Well, actually, it turns out we found an easier way to install that, and that is that this fascia will actually pop off and pull out, and you can easily reach in with an extension to that lower grill bolt. Besides that, once you've got the grill off and you take the louvers out, mounting it up, you just have to make sure you get those bolts, washers, and spacers all in the right order, and everything goes together really, really nicely. And we're gonna show you how to do all of it step by step here. Let's dig right in.
As usual with any electronics project, it's always a good idea to disconnect your negative battery terminal. Also, before you start assembling everything, it's a great idea to make any lens changes. Whether you're swapping the lenses for beam pattern or going to an amber lens for those snowy and icy conditions, it's a lot easier to swap before everything is installed. Always make sure to be careful not to strip the Allen heads, and when replacing the lens and bezel, be sure the O-ring is properly seated. We'll also prepare each squadron pod by attaching the stainless steel mounting bracket using a star lock washer between the bracket and the housing and the supplied 4mm bolt from the side. Tighten these snug but still movable. Now we'll begin removing the grill on our Raptor. Start by using a panel lever to remove all the plastic Christmas tree clips, and then pull up to remove the plastic shroud above the radiator. Now using a 10mm socket, remove the 4 bolts from the top of the grill. There will be 4 connectors at the top of the grill for the camera, lights, and sensors. Be sure to disconnect all of these along with their Christmas tree clips and set them aside and free. Now we'll need to release the lower part of the grill. Start by removing the fender flares. There are 2 small bolts at the leading edge of the fenders. Remove these and then pull out firmly to release the retaining clips. These make an awful sound, but don't worry, they shouldn't break. Next, you'll pull outward on this lower trim from each corner to release the clips and work your way towards the center. Pulling up from the base and rotating upwards will help release the clips until you can remove the trim fully. With the lower trim removed, you can now easily access the 10mm bolts at the base of the grill, 1 on each side, and remove them. Now you can remove the grill by pulling out firmly to release the clips. Make sure to inspect carefully for any missed connectors before lifting completely away. Before doing this, have a soft place prepared to lay the grill face down. From the bottom of the grill, we'll be removing the lower 4 shutter slats on both sides. Using a flathead screwdriver, pry open the retaining clip on one side and lift and twist out to remove. Now locate the supplied mounting bracket hardware and lay it out. You'll be placing this in order by bolt, washer, spacer, washer, lock nut. We'll be mounting the bracket in the 2nd and 3rd bolt holes. Bolt and washer inside the bracket, spacer between the bracket, and washer and nut on the outside. These are a snug fit and you may need to thread the bolt through. When all your bolts and spacers are in place, you can fully snug these down. Repeat this process on the other side as well. Now prepare each of your squadrons by placing a large mounting bolt and washer through the bracket. You can now place each squadron in its corresponding mounting point and throw a washer and nut on the mounting bolt. Using 2 box wrenches, tighten these mounting bolts snug but still movable. With everything mounted up, you can align and orient the lights to your desired direction. Now locate your 6-light daisy chain harness and begin connecting all the 6 squadrons to the harness. Then tuck the harness in and zip tie it in place as cleanly as possible. With the lights harness all set, we can reinstall our grill. Start by pulling any of the connectors out of the way, then place the grill and push in the clips to secure. Now find a clean route to run your wiring harness and zip tie the cables as clean as possible. Then replace the 2 lower mounting bolts for the grill and the 4 upper mounting bolts. Then reconnect the connectors for the lights and camera. And replace the rubber upper shroud and secure using the Christmas tree clips. If you're wiring this into the upfitter switches, your aux wires are behind the battery, so the battery needs to come out. You'll reference your manual to identify which wire colors goes to which switch. Use your snap connector to tap into that wire, then run the positive and negative lines to the battery and connect your lights. In our case, we're going to wire directly into the S-Pod accessory, and to do that, we're simply going to cut out the XL connectors and ditch the rest of the harness components. Now we just plug in the XL harness connectors to the light and find a clean path to run the cables and zip tie them out of the way. With your lights wired in, before you finish reassembling everything, just test them to make sure they fire up. Now you can replace the painted trim, pressing in at the center and working your way to the trailing edge. You can also press your fender flares back in place and re-secure using the 2 OEM screws. With that, you've finished installing the Baja designs behind the grill kit.
All right, hope you found this video helpful. If you're ready to buy that behind the grill kit, find your way over to motoroso.com. We'd be happy to help you with that or any other Baja Designs products. And if you'd like to find out how we installed that fog pocket kit, that's the next video up in our installation guide series. Thanks for watching.